Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Digital Underground, on this sultry Saturday, April 20th, 420. Get the lighters out. And this 2024, and this show starts right now. What's up, everybody? I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. It's been an incredible day, to say the very least. But now, here we go. We're going to start it off with Smackdown Live as the recap. And then tonight, we're actually going to preview AEW Dynasty that's going down tomorrow night. We will not have Collision or any other AEW show. You just want to try to get it out of the way. Busy night in the world of sports, as you guys know. So we might be coming back on tomorrow night to do a special edition of TXN Sports World, as we'll cover all of the game ones, Ranger Roundup, Bruins Beat, and we'll also have the Celtics chat. We'll lump it all in one. So we'll do it tomorrow night. I'll probably say about 10:30. We'll see how that plays out. But let's start off with SmackDown Live. We started out right out of the gate, the big one. AJ Styles versus LA Knight. AJ Styles wins the match. 10 minutes and 58 seconds means he is the man that gets to face off with Cody Rhodes at Backlash for the WWE title. Great way to start the show. We would have thought that this would have been the main event. They gave it to us right out of the gate, right at Jump Street. I'm not mad about it. It was an excellent match, about a 3-star bout. Not as good as their battle at WrestleMania, but it was still a fine match for what it was worth. AJ gets the Duke, gets a little measure of payback, and now we get a dream fight. AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I mean, that's a hell of a first opponent for the American Nightmare to have, especially now as WWE Champion. And I cannot wait to see the setup between these two men. Former members of the Bullet Club, but I don't think they ever interacted around that time in the Bullet Club. But more importantly, you could say this is two styles of clashes. You know, everybody talks about how Cody Rhodes not only was the frontline soldier for WWE for a long time, but you could even say was a frontline soldier for AEW, where AJ Styles, yes, frontline soldier for WWE, frontline soldier for Raw, frontline soldier for SmackDown, but also was a major frontline soldier for TNA. So if you want to take away the WWE accomplishments of both men, you can be all my guests. But this could easily they could swing at the fences, and we could get some references from AEW, references from TNA days. This could open up a whole plethora of different look of a storyline that we could get. But at the end of the day, AJ versus Cody, the first matchup. Whoo! I can't wait for this. This is gonna be good. So nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it is all yours. AJ Styles is the man that gets to face off with Cody Rhodes in a couple of weeks in Lyon, France for Backlash.
Yes, and I'll tell you, MF, the LA Knight played to the crowd a lot and got the fans to be vocal and rowdy. The Phenomenal One sold well for him when he was on defense, making Knight look even better in the process. Knight is a good wrestler, but Styles has a way of making everyone look just a little better. Even a match like this that won't be remembered in a few weeks went off without a hitch. Every move was executed with precision, and they followed up on their WrestleMania encounter well. AJ may have lost at Mania, but he was able to get the win with a thumb to the eye and a phenomenal forearm. Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles will do battle for the WWE Championship at Backlash. It always takes some time to get used to new entrance music, and AJ's new song is no better or worse than his old one, but it still feels wrong when his new music plays. That'll probably be a non-issue by SummerSlam. It looked like Knight and Styles both forgot to lift up their arms during a spray tan, from what I saw. Nice drop kick through the ropes. Looked great. He landed perfectly. Pele kick still looks awesome. I will give this about 3.25 for the effort. I think the Mania match was a little better, but then again, this was a TV match, so commercials were going to get in the way, but that's all right. 3.25 stars. That's my story. So MF, now, I don't know what's next on the agenda. Is it the ongoing saga?
Don't worry. I got it. Nope, not yet. But what we'll do is we had Triple H, Uncle Paul showed up, and whenever Uncle Paul shows up, that means we got some business to talk about. So what we did was Nick Aldis came out, so did Uncle Trips, and they unveiled. Well, then they brought out A-Town Down Under, and they talked about how great they were and how they won WrestleMania and everything else. So with that standing, Triple H did acknowledge, yes, that they were the tag team champions, and that if you were going to be champions, that we were going to need new belts. So they actually were awarded the newly crowned, newly minted WWE Tag Team Champions. They unveiled it, and let me tell you, the reaction on the internet was explosive in a very good way. They are loving the new belts, and you know what? I gotta say it. It's a throwback. It almost reminds me, and Anthony, I think you know where I'm going with this. The original 1980s World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championships.
Yes.
It has that look. It has a feel. Yes, it does have the W in the middle. Okay, fine. We're not going to get away with that. We're not getting rid of that. It looks like every belt's going to have that little emblem in the middle. Okay, fine. But if you look at the fine print, if you look at it side by side with the original tag team titles, even the plate in the center looks so similar to the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championships.
Yeah.
I am in love with these belts. And to know that these are our belts, and God, I hope these belts do not get traded away in the draft. I
do.
Yeah, obviously you do. I don't. I do not want to see those belts go to Monday Night Raw. I don't. I hope these belts remain on SmackDown because, God damn it, these belts look so clean, so crisp. And even people are saying it. It's better than the World Tag Team titles.
Oh, obviously.
Obviously.
They look like pizza pies.
Yeah. Those belts look like pizza pies. These belts looks like this needs integrity. This needs honor. This is like WWE, for every miss that they have done, they've always nailed it with something. Maybe they miss it with one, but then they nail it with another. That's exactly what we just saw. I don't know what it is. It's always you hit on one and then there's like a massive swing or a miss on another. And my God, did they hit with this? Everybody is like, I want to talk, like everybody, every streamer, every fan, everybody that I've been talking to, 2184 crew, your buddies, Anthony, who all of our friends, everybody absolutely fell in love with these tag team titles. And I don't think there's anybody who's been great. There's nothing bad about these belts. These look clean, crisp, a little bit of the nod of an old school to a new school era. Like, probably, and I'm going to say it, maybe hands down, probably the best looking title in WWE right now. Like, I'll even go as far to say it. Right now, that might be the best looking title in WWE. Like, that's how good these belts are.
Yes.
A-Town down, gets rewarded with the belt. Triple H tries to shake their hand, obviously, to be, the honorable champion, to congratulate them for this huge honor, and they stiff Hunter, shaking hands with each other, basically leaving Triple H hanging. What?
What do you make of that, Fletcher?
What do I make about it?
That's your
Thank
boy.
God this show is PG, because if this wasn't PG, I got few choice words for them too.
Triple H, MF is the biggest Triple H mark of all of us.
Oh, and let's just
What would
say
Big
Nick
D do?
Paul.
What would Big D do?
Huh?
What would Big D do?
Oh, you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Bullock and I were talking about that during our Smackdown chat last night, and when we saw that disrespect, Bullock said, "Ooh, I wonder what Michael Fletcher's thinking."
When I saw that, I kind of had a look that, you guys know. You see my look, and you know when I get pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had that look, like, you son of a bleep. You're disrespecting my boy? Do you know who writes your checks? Do you know who the bleep that is? So, obviously, not only did he get mad, Nick Aldis got pissed. And Nick Aldis basically reamed him and said that there was going to be a fatal four-way for the number one contenders. And here it is. We had AOP, Street Profits, New Catch Republic, and Legado de Fantasma. And it was the Profits winning it. They won it. They are the number one contenders in 16 minutes, 53 seconds. Anthony Florio, Profits, gets the shot at the newly crowned WWE Tag Team titles.
And they did so in the fight of the night. Let's not kid ourselves. General Manager Nick Aldis presented the new WWE Tag Team Championship belts to A-Town Down Under to replace the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. MF, you saw that coming. But then again, we also just saw that coming after what we saw Monday Night on Raw with Miz and R-Truth getting those Pizza Pie Tag Team Championship belts. But story for another day. But the champs remained at ringside. They sat in with Corey Graves and Wade Barrett on commentary to watch Akam and Razor, Angel and Humberto, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate compete for a shot at those shiny new belts. And AOP played the big villains in the bout, and their feud with the Profits carried over from WrestleMania, but all four teams played a part. Bouts like this would benefit from having one member of each duo in the ring instead of just two legal competitors, but it rarely made a difference anyway. We saw several multi-man spots, especially at the end. This was an entertaining bit of chaos that had a couple of convincing near falls. Every team had multiple standout moments, but it was Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford who secured the win and the first shot at A-Town Down Under. This was excellent and something you should go out of your way to see if you didn't, or if you're pressed for time. It feels like WWE might be planting the seeds for Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce to have a feud leading into Survivor Series. Now, how about that? That would be something. The new tag team championships, like MF said, looked a lot like the tag belts from the 80s, maybe even the 90s, for all we know. Tyler Bate getting up Akam for an airplane spin, incredible display of power. There was a strange moment when Tyler Bate tumbled over the top rope into the ring for no reason, and Montez Ford and Tyler Bate had some of the biggest highlights in this bout. I'm gonna go the soccer route here and name them the co-men of the match, because those two, Montez Ford and Tyler Bate, they put in some work last night, let me tell you. So excellent match. Fight of the night, no question about it. 4.25 stars. Excellent match. And I only wish we could have had more, but hey. An almost 17-minute match on television. Wow, that's awesome. I think if we had been there, we probably would have given this 5 if we were in Pittsburgh.
In the arena, yeah.
But seeing that we had 2 commercial breaks that interrupted it, still great. 4 to 4.25, easy. Fight of the
Yeah.
night. So Street Profits, A-Town Down Under. I'm thinking probably Backlash in France, but we'll have to wait and see how they want to do it. But that's my assumption. So, and yes, MF, those tag team championship belts, absolutely gorgeous. I will admit it. Gorgeous new belts. And they definitely do have that 80s, 90s that late 80s, early 90s throwback. No question.
You could even say they almost have a little look of the original SmackDown tag team titles.
Oh yes.
If you remember those belts too, they had that little curvature in the centerpiece, the way that those titles did. But no, man, these belts look absolutely flawless, man. Like
Papa
I said,
H ain't messing around.
No, Papa H hit, like I said, and there's been some ugly looking misfires with the belt initially. I remember when they initially introduced the Universal Championship, and it looked like that, and it absolutely had that like Twizzlers red look, and we were like, no,
Red Robe Licorice.
Yeah, and we were like, what the bleep was that? We would not have it. Like you heard the crowd that night when they showed that belt for the first time. We were all freaking out. Like, what is that?
SummerSlam 2016.
Yeah.
Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Yeah.
I mean, poor Finn. Poor Finn had because he was the first recipient of that belt. That's why the fans were booing at first. They weren't booing Finn Balor. They were booing the fact that he had to hold that belt. So, I mean,
the blue one was no better.
Huh?
The blue one was no better.
No, it wasn't. I'll openly admit it. No, it wasn't.
The Fiend belt. The Fiend belt. Yeah, that was. Ooh.
Yeah. But, again, that was because that was the Fiend. That was his version of the title. They've gotten better over the years. Let's say that. The belts have gotten better. I don't mind the World Heavyweight title. I love the World Heavyweight title because it kind of has a throwback to the Big Gold. The Big Gold, which was the one you idolized. Now, and the thing is, the WWE title, the one Cody Rhodes is having, I'm hearing rumors that belt might be going bye-bye. And that there might be a special wing eagle look to the WWE title coming up. Yes. I mean, don't get me wrong. If that comes out, oh my God. Yeah, because you know Cody. Cody is a traditionalist. Mm-hmm. Hell, remember when he was the Intercontinental title, he brought back the original IC title.
In white.
So I've heard rumors about that. There might be a brand new WWE championship coming down the pipeline that might be very reminiscent of the Winged Eagle from the year that Macho won it, which was in 1988.
WrestleMania
4. Yes. So if that's the iteration, if that's the vision that Cody's thinking, oh my God, what are we about to get with this version of the WWE title?
An Anthony Florio that's gonna freak the F out in a good way.
Yeah.
Because you know that's my belt.
Oh, I know. As everybody knows, my favorite was the undisputed WWE title. The one that Triple H had. The one that Brock Lesnar had. The one that Eddie Guerrero made. Even like the one belt that everybody synonymized that belt with is Eddie Guerrero. Ugh. And don't get me wrong, Eddie with that belt, it hits me. That belt hits me harder than any other title because of, remember, Triple H was the first man to hold it because that was the night Ric Flair presented that belt to Triple H saying, we're not going to have you wear two belts anymore. This is your belt. And when they showed that belt for the first time, I was like, oh my God, I think I'm in love. And you remember, Florio, you remember my eyes lit when I saw that belt for the first time.
They have it. They have replicas on shop.com.
Yeah, I just don't have the money for it though. That's like almost what, 400, $500?
About.
I wish I could have that money, man. You know, imagine me with that undisputed title in my hands. God damn.
I already have the big gold belt. You
I
just get
know.
that belt. We can recreate Benoit and Eddie.
WrestleMania 20. We don't have to say the two men. We already know who they are, but yeah, I know. WrestleMania 20. The end of WrestleMania 20.
Uh-huh. So, yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
Yes.
Next up. Oh, by the way, 4 stars. Agreed. Fight of the night. You got it. Next up, Santos Escobar versus Carlito. Santos Escobar wins the match in 7:37. By default, well, no. Wait. We'll get into it in a little bit. It's not worst fight of the night. I will say this. This was a good match. Solid bout. 2.5, 2 3/4. I don't mind the overbooked finish. I don't mind that Legado and LWO got involved. And poor Carlito got the short end on the stick because Santos did something a little dirty and then hit him with the Phantom Driver to end it. Typical heel move. That got me all enraged. Anthony Florio was laughing his head off. And once again, through the win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheap motto. And it worked for Florio like a charm. Good matchup. 2.5 to 2 3/4. Anthony, it's yours.
What was the time of the fall?
7:37.
Yeah. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, that was about 2.5, 2 3/4 of a star. Okay. It was a fine match, but it was uneventful, if I'm going to be honest with you. There's nothing really more to say about it. I mean, it was nice to see Carlito get a chance to show off. It feels like we haven't seen him enough since he returned. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Fine, but uneventful. 2.5 stars. That's the best I can go. So with that, MF, we move on.
All right. So one bit of news that we need to announce. Next week, yes, it's going to be draft week on Smackdown, but more importantly, we will have a contract signing for the WWE Championship match. AJ Styles and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes will be in the building together to sign the contract. I already can hear Michael Bullock right now. I already hear it.
Well.
Yep. You know that's what he always says. Main event of the evening, they gave it to the ladies. Bayley versus Naomi for the WWE Women's title. The fight gets thrown out in 10 minutes and 33 seconds. Tiffany Stratton messed up the fight. She thought it was Tiffy time, and she took out both women, causing a no contest. Oh, Anthony, this one was getting good. Yes. And then Tiffany, look, I love the baby girl. She's a blonde bombshell.
Yes, sir.
But that was the wrong place at the wrong time to do that, sweetheart.
Yes. Michael Bullock and I, you noticed before the match, you saw Damage Control sitting up in one of the sky boxes.
Yep.
And but then Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill showed up and conveniently sat right across from them. And I'm like, well, I guess we don't have to worry about Damage Control getting involved. But then we were like, oh no, we forgot about Tiffany Stratton. Oh boy, they pulled the wool over our eyes here. Pulled the rug out from us. 3 to 3.25. These are two women who are noted friends and working as baby faces, so this was a clean match that did not rely on cheating or interference by either competitor's allies. Solid match from start to finish, but knowing it was going to have a predictable finish definitely kept it from feeling as special as it would on a pay-per-view. Both women hit a few of their signature moves and came close to winning before Tiffany Stratton caused a no contest by attacking both women. The majority of what we saw was great, but the way it ended definitely left a bit to be desired. Bayley's elbow drop should still be a finisher. I'm just saying. So this was a 3 to 3.25 star bout for the effort here. maybe I'm thinking they could end up doing a rematch or maybe a triple threat with Tiffany Stratton possibly. I mean, that's my assumption. So I don't know. There's definitely more than this that meets the eye here, no question. So 3 to 3.25 MF, like I told you a moment ago, Bullock and I, when we had our SmackDown chat last night, we were worried about Damage Control possibly getting involved. But then when Bianca and Jade showed up, we're like, okay, I think we're fine now. It's just that we forgot about Tiffany Stratton. Stupid us. Oh man.
Yep. And I wasn't thinking about it, but then I'm like, I really think they're gonna go straight. I think they're gonna go straight up 1-on-1. Let them go straight up 1-on-1. When Tiffany showed up, I was like, oh no. I was like, no, baby girl, why? Not you. I was like, I love you, baby girl, but that was not the time to do it.
There it goes.
Yep, exactly, man. Yeah. Hey, that's my line, by the way.
Yeah.
Is that because you were more of the Keenan Thompson? I was definitely the Kel Mitchell of that group.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so I mean, I that was
that's how you did it on commentary. You're like, oh, there goes the match.
Yep.
Yes.
And yeah, when Tiffany Stratton hit the ring, I was like, wait a minute, no, there goes the match, and sure enough, there it went. Right,
with the nasty laugh.
Yep. So, and then of course I yell out, why did she get involved? What was the meaning of that? But it is what it is. So yeah, solid matchup, solid battle, 3 stars. Anthony, hit us with the overall review. It's all yours, bro.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I got to give this about 7.5 here. I mean, for a 2-hour show that only had 4 matches, last night's SmackDown moved at a brisk pace and featured several storyline developments. New number 1 contenders were found for Cody Rhodes and the team of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Solo Sikoa cemented his place as the quote-unquote new tribal chief in the bloodline in absence of Roman Reigns. Tiffany Stratton pushed herself into the women's title scene. The fatal 4-way tag match was easily the fight of the night. All 8 men looked great and put on a fun performance that made the SmackDown tag team division look stronger than it has in quite some time. Backlash is approaching quickly, so WWE is already moving on from WrestleMania, but we still have the upcoming WWE draft next Friday night in Cincinnati. The landscape of WWE, could look very different in a couple of weeks. It will
look different in a couple of weeks.
So we are going to have to wait and see which show comes out on top. So we're going to be obviously pushing for both of our shows to come out on top, but
and don't forget, not only that, but NXT is also going to have a major play in this because they are creating NXT as a third brand. They're not going to be developmental anymore. Absolutely. They're making them an equal, like Raw, like SmackDown, and on top of that, remember they're going to network TV in the fall. They're going to CW. So I think there's going to be some. I'm not going to say big names, but there's going to be some very good quality veterans that might be heading to NXT.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, and especially CW, of course, SmackDown going to USA, and then of course Raw with the biggest move of all going to Netflix. So
I'm already counting my money. I'm already setting it up. I'm already thinking what I'm going to be going for, how I'm going to be attacking Netflix. If I want to stay with the $6.99 with the commercials, or if I'll jump up to the 15 level because I think 20 is a little too rich for my blood. Even though I could probably do it, but I think it's like $14.95 a month, and it's commercial free. And but it's not like high tech. If I go with the 20 a month, then I get it in 4K.
Ooh.
And I got a 4K TV, folks, so I
As
could
do
pull
I.
this off.
So do I.
I could pull this off if I wanted to.
I could too.
Yep. So we'll see.
We'll see what happens. So
Mhm.
yeah, so that draft that starts Friday in Cincinnati and concludes Monday the 29th in Kansas City is going to be well significant as to how the rosters are going to look when we get to those new deals. So we'll see what happens. I would say solid 7.5 for me, and very good show. It flew by like that, and that's all I can ask. So 7.5 for me, and MF. Your overall thoughts as we and then we'll get into the AEW Dynasty pay-per-view.
Yeah, like I said, I think it was a 7.5. There's no really more to say about it, so we'll just move right on along. So here we go, AEW Dynasty. We're gonna go with the pre-show fight start, and then we'll give you the rest of the card. So pre-show fight, 3 matches that is set. We got Trent Beretta versus Matt Sydal. We got Shibata and Orange Cassidy versus Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. And in a winner take all for the AEW Trios title and the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team titles, the AEW Trios champion, the Acclaim, Anthony Bowens, Matt Caster, and Billy Gunn will face off with the Ring of Honor 6-men tag team champions, Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, and the Guns. The winners gets both sets of titles. Everything, it's a winner take all. So that's how it plays out. Main card. We start out with a 6-man tag team fight. Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe against the House of Black. All right, this is a tough one. I kind of feel like House of Black is going to win this because really right now, I just don't see why they would give this to Adam, Eddie, and Mark. This seems like this is thrown together last minute. So I just don't see any type of real anything about this. So for me, winners of the bout is the House of Black. I just feel like they need this more than Copeland, Eddie, and Mark Briscoe because they really want to. If you're going to push House of Black, this would be the event to push them. So, Florio, it's yours.
After successfully defending the TNT Championship against Matt Cardona, Adam Copeland was confronted by Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews. Copeland was then backed up by Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe, setting up this trios match. There will be some interesting interactions in this bout, and I think there could possibly be some tension between Mark Briscoe and Eddie Kingston after Mark Briscoe took the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship from Eddie Kingston at Supercard of Honor. So I'm with you, MF. I'm actually going to go with the House of Black to win this match as well. So with that, let's move on to the next match.
Next up for the FTW title, under FTW rules, it's going to be Hook putting the title on the line against Chris Jericho. Florio, it's yours.
After several weeks of interactions, Chris Jericho tried to take Hook under his wing and mentor the FTW champion. However, when Hook refused the offer, Jericho shoved Hook's father, Taz, this past Wednesday night on Dynamite, which resulted in Hook calling out Jericho for an FTW rules match at Dynasty. The nature of FTW rules allows Chris Jericho to unleash his heel side and use all of his conniving tricks to defeat the young star. I got a feeling we might see a new champion here, MF. And besides,
I agree.
Hook's already beaten Chris Jericho once already. So,
yeah.
So, my gut, I don't know why. My gut is telling me to go with Hook to retain, but I don't know why. I just got this feeling Jericho might do this thing. So I'm going to say the winner and new FTW champion is Chris Jericho. But I would not at all be surprised.
It's not very often where the belt goes away from a Team Taz member, somebody like that. And it's very rare that you get these type of matches, but Chris Jericho is conniving enough and cunning enough that I could see him going through the back door and stealing this title from Hook. So I honestly think we're going to see a new champion too. I totally agree with you, Anthony. I got Hook losing this belt. I got Chris Jericho winning it all and winning the title. So next up we have is a match. It is going to be Roderick Strong putting the international title on the line against Kyle O'Reilly. I'm sorry. I think Roddy wins this. And the thing is, I think it's going to be interference. I do believe that Kyle O'Reilly is going to give him a test. I think he's really going to push him to the limit. But I just don't see any way that this goes. So I think winner of the bout and still the international champion, I think it's going to be Roderick Strong. So Anthony, it's yours.
The former friends will battle it out for the international championship after Roddy's heelish ways were too much for O'Reilly to take. Roderick Strong and the Kingdom were about to put a beating on Rocky Romero when Kyle O'Reilly came up to stop them, which resulted in Roderick Strong taking out his old teammate and setting up this championship bout. Since returning to the promotion, Kyle O'Reilly has carefully fought to prove he can still hang in the ring, and Roderick Strong will exploit this and destroy him with an array of backbreakers. Winner and still AEW International Champion, it is Roderick Strong of the Undisputed Kingdom. So MF, set me up for the next match if you would.
Under house rules for the AEW TBS Championship, Julia Hart puts the title on the line against Willow Nightingale. Anthony, it is yours.
Willow Nightingale became the number one contender for the TBS Championship when she defeated Chris Statlander, Anna Jay, and Sky Blue in a fatal four-way match under the watchful eye of Mercedes Moné. The house rules stipulation allows for some interference from all sides. Sky Blue on behalf of Julia Hart and Chris Statlander for Willow Nightingale. Plus, Mercedes Moné is looking for payback after she was attacked by a mystery assailant. But out of the chaos, I think a new champion will emerge. I'm going to say the winner and new TBS champion, Willow Nightingale. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mercedes Moné is the one who ultimately does it, setting up a TBS title feud between Mercedes and Willow down the road, maybe at Double or Nothing. So that's just my guess. But if Julia Hart were to retain, I would not at all be surprised. I would not. So, but
yeah,
I'm going to take a chance on this one. Winner and new TBS champion, Willow Nightingale, CEO, has the final say. MF.
That's interesting because I actually was thinking the whole way through that I actually had Julia Hart winning this. You just put something really in my head that makes me want to think. I might have to rethink my decision. So yeah, you definitely made me think. You definitely made me think longer and harder than I normally would have on this one. Because I honestly was gonna say Julia Hart, no problem. I thought she was gonna successfully defend the title, but after what you just said, Mario, that made me cause to pause here. I'm still gonna go Julia to win, but your theory might be right. And I'm gonna say it. Normally I would dismiss your theories, but this one does not sound very far-fetched. So remember, I had a golden one at WrestleMania, and it hit hook, line, and sinker. So could this be your WrestleMania moment where could this be your ultimate prediction that hits hook, line, and sinker? It could. Very possible. If you get it, I'll give you all the credit. I remember I got the flowers when I called for how I called the Damian Priest situation.
You did.
So yeah, all right. So we'll see. All right. So next up we had is Harushika Okada going up against Pac for the Continental Championship. It's Okada. It's the Rainmaker. He just got the belt. There's no way they're going to let him drop the belt like that this early in his reign. It had to be a worthy challenger in order for him to lose it. So for me, I think it's going to be Okada. I think he's going to win it. The one person I think that could actually take the belt from Okada could be Kenny Omega. when Omega ever comes back. Because you know he's going to go after the Elite for kicking him out. Well, for quote unquote suspending him, or no, they kicked him out. They fired him.
Yeah.
From the Elite, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but the thing is, Kenny Omega is still, feeling the effects of that diverticulitis, and I hear it's so bad that he actually might need some surgery.
Yeah, so I don't know that maybe is it Adam Hangman Page that comes back? Because would that be the next move? Could be him? Huh?
They indefinitely, the Elite Matthew and Nicholas suspended him indefinitely without pay. So,
but not from AEW, from the Elite. Remember, they suspended him indefinitely without pay from the Elite, not from AEW.
Well,
so that's the thing. Who knows?
Well, we'll find out.
But I still say Okada wins, so Florio go.
Yeah, Kazuchika Okada makes his first defense of the Continental Championship against Pac. The Rainmaker defeated Eddie Kingston for the title in his first singles match as an official AEW employee. Pac then made his long-awaited return to the promotion to challenge Okada, which was accepted with a chair shot to the head. This first-time ever singles bout will surely delight, but it is way too early to take the title off of the Rainmaker. So the winner and still AEW Continental Champion, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. So with that, MF, next match.
Next up we have is for the vacant AEW World Tag Team titles contested in a ladder match. It will be the Young Bucks, Nicholas and Matthew Jackson versus FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
The longtime rivals clash in a ladder match for the vacant World Tag Team Championships. The titles were vacated at the last pay-per-view Revolution last month after Sting's retirement. A tournament was announced and the two teams fought their way to the finals. The Bucks and FTR always have great matches, but the addition of this stipulation raises the excitement and the stakes significantly. The Jackson brothers have been entertaining in their new heel EVP role, and a title win would elevate the tyrannical act to new height. So, and remember, I think they wanted. I mean, a lot of people were saying that the Young Bucks should have won, and but Tony Khan, one of the smart things he ever did, let Sting go out on top, which was the right thing to do. And this tournament was basically tailor-made to give the Bucks the win back. So, winners and new AEW World Tag Team Champions, the EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks. MF, what says you?
I can't disagree with that call. I think the Young Bucks will indeed win the match. I do believe they will become the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. I just don't see any other way that this goes down. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's gonna happen, and I'm with you. I actually do have the Young Bucks winning the titles and becoming the champions. So I really got nothing more to say here. So yeah. So next up we have is Timeless Tony Storm versus Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's World Title. I kind of feel like Tony Storm wins this. I don't know why. I just feel comfortable enough to call it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm pretty confident that Tony wins this. I think Thunder is going to give Tony everything she's bargaining for, but I just feel like right now people love the Timeless one, so I just don't see her losing the belt. Not yet. But we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, I got Timeless Tony Storm winning and keeping the title. So Anthony, it is yours.
Timeless Tony Storm has a fight on her hands when she meets Thunder Rosa in her fourth title defense. After returning from injury, Thunder Rosa has been gunning for the title she never lost, and upon defeating Tony Storm's protege, Mariah May, secured her championship challenge. Despite Thunder Rosa's tenacity and toughness, Toni Storm is thriving as champion in her third and easily most successful title reign. Her character has really taken off and been a huge hit, while Rosa is still rebuilding after her lengthy hiatus. So it makes sense to keep the title on Toni Storm. So the winner, and still the AEW Women's World Champion, it is Timeless Toni Storm. One match to go. MF, it is main event time. Set it up.
No, it's not. There's still one more match. You forgot one.
What do we got?
Will Ospreay.
Oh, yes.
1-on-1 with the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
Oh, baby.
This is, oh my God, what a match this is going to be.
Show stealer. Show stealer.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know how to even predict this. That's how hard. Well, you do, but I don't. I mean, this is going to be without a doubt the hardest one to call for me. I kind of have to feel like Will Ospreay. I don't know why. I feel like Will Ospreay is going to win this one. I just don't know if it's even. I just don't know. It's a tough matchup. At least for me, I think it's a tough matchup. But we'll see. But this is going to be a hell of a fight. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
Anything less than 5 stars will be considered a disappointment. I'm just saying that right now. But the wrestling gods have looked down and granted us with a splendid first-time ever dream match when Will Ospreay clashes with Bryan Danielson. The two cross paths almost as soon as the high-flying Brit officially became All Elite. Danielson welcomed Ospreay to the promotion before stating that if he wants to call himself the best, he must prove so in a match against him. Cue the holy bleep chants. Bryan Danielson is easily one of the best wrestlers to ever do it, but Will Ospreay will prove he also has a claim to that title. So yes, MF, I agree. Winner of this match is Will Ospreay. Or should I say Will, by God, Ospreay. So not much more to say. Now it's main event time. And man, am I excited about this.
And now we got ourselves a fight on our hands. Yes, main event of the evening. Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland, AEW World Title on the line, and Anthony Florio. Now it's yours. Now you take over.
Months of intense rivalry have led Samoa Joe to defend the AEW World Heavyweight Championship against Swerve Strickland. After failing to win the title at Revolution, Swerve has been determined to prove himself as a worthy challenger. He became the #1 contender by beating Konosuke Takeshita before participating in a violent and bloody contract signing. Swerve enters this match with a ton of momentum and popularity behind him. Plus, he has the manic ability to withstand an insane amount of punishment and scarily seems to enjoy it also. Joe will be more than happy to dish out the violence, but Swerve will be able and happy to take it en route to victory. Winner and new AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Swerve Strickland, making history in the process. He will become the first African-American AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And what a moment that is going to be tomorrow night in screwy St. Louis. So there's nothing more to say except MF. Whose house?
Swerve's house. And I agree. I do believe, Anthony, you are absolutely right. And I do believe we are going to be seeing history being made, an unprecedented crowning. I am also calling for Swerve Strickland to become the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. There's really nothing more to add. So we're out of here. We're done. Thank you, Anthony Florio. Thank you, everybody. As always, we do this again tomorrow night. A special edition of TXN Sports World as we recap all of Game 1 stuff, and we'll do it at 10:30. So we'll do it since it is TXN Sports World. We'll do it on Anthony Floyo's channel. However, don't worry, guys. I'll host. I think we'll do this. I'll do the Ranger Roundup because I am the voice of the NHL. Anthony will take over for the Celtics chat, because he is the voice of the NBA. So we'll do it that way. Do you think that's fair, Florio?
What about the Bruins?
I'll take care of the Bruins.
Okay.
I'll do the NHL part. You do the NBA.
Well, it'll go Bruins, Celtics, Rangers. That's how it's going to go. And
All right. All right. That's your work. We'll do it on the Tone 25 for this one. And we'll see you guys at 10:30 tomorrow. So until then, have a good night, everybody.
Goodbye.